I'm going to be demoing the branch release CLI. This is a tool that helps with your release workflows. So just to show what I currently have, I've got a repository. It's very simple. I've just got a get, ignore, and a readme in it. And I've created a few workflow branches. So we've got main and develop, and then we've got staging and UAT. So let's start with looking at different ways of merging. So some people may take develop, they may merge into staging, into UAT, into main. Others may go directly from develop into staging, into UAT, and into main. And it's up to you and your workflows in terms of which way you want to do it. But this CLI will help with both of those cases because you can create a tag directly on a branch, or you can create a tag from a branch. You can create a release, merge it into a different branch, tag it there, and merge that branch back into yours. So you have the ability to control the workflow that you want to do. But the idea here is that we are able to generate semantic version tags for different branches and for your different needs. So to start with, let's merge develop into our staging branch, and let's start with generating a tag on a branch for a branch. So we're not going to merge into a different branch. We're going to just generate a tag for the staging branch. So how that would work is if we look at the release help, you can see there are a lot of different flags, and this is built on top of the commit and tag version library. So have a look at that, at those docs to see what the bump files are and all of those different things. But the main thing that we want to do here is we're probably going to want to create a pre-release tag, because this isn't a full tag. This is for our workflow. So it's a staging tag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a release, and I'm going to do a pre-release staging on this. And so what's going to happen is it's going to create a new release branch. It's going to generate the changelog and other files if it's applicable, and I'll show those other files now. And then it merges that release branch back into the staging branch and tags it with that tag that it's generated. So let's go back, let's revert back to here. Let's reset that, and actually we could probably go even further back, but let's just delete this for now. In develop, let's now make a package JSON. So I'm going to create a package JSON, and I'm going to let's say add the package JSON file. Okay. And okay, so now we've got, and actually let's change this to feet. I know it's not really one, but let's make it a feature so that we can see that the changelog changes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge develop into staging, and I'm going to run that pre-release command again. So let's go back to here and look at this pre-release. And what you'll see now is before it only did the changelog, but now we've actually got bump files where we need that tag to be updated, and so it will also do the actual files as well, package JSONs, and you can specify which files you want as bump files. So now we've got a changelog where it will automatically generate the the changes that you've made, and it creates those bump files as well. So that's cool, but we may not want to write to this specific changelog file. We may want our own changelog file for staging that's not linked to the main file. And so as you release on different branches, you would build out different changelog files. So let's have a look at that one. What we would then do is we would probably do, let me have a look at the help. We have it up here. There's something called changelog file path, and that's what we're going to want to specify. So we may want to say changelog staging.md, and when we run this release, what then happens is it will actually create the staging changelog file. So that's all cool. We have been able to generate on a single branch, on the staging branch, we've been able to make these different tags, which when you push, you could run release workflows and so on. But now let's reset back to here, and let's delete these, and let's try something a little bit different. Let's, instead of running a release from staging, let's run a release from develop into staging, and then merge that back into develop. So I'm going to actually, let's even reset this down to here. So it's basically, we've just made changes and we're ready to run a release onto our staging branch. So here, instead of, all of this is fine. And all we're going to change now is merge into branch equals staging. What will happen now is it's going to generate the release, but it's going to merge the result of this release into staging and tag it there, that's important, is that the tag is on the staging branch, and then merge that branch back into your develop branch. So yes, we get the changes like this, the change log from staging, but it also means that our tags are running off those specific branches. You may have on this branch some configuration that's slightly different to your other branches, and this is will allow those tags to run off those branches. So that's cool. So now we've got our own our ability to merge into different branches, and then it merges back into develop. So we may do something like, okay, well, cool, I want to also do UAT, so pre-release equals UAT. And now, sorry, I probably should have, here we go. Pre-release equals UAT, and I do actually want to say merge into branch UAT. Cool. And now it will go from the staging pre-release to the UAT pre-release and merge that back into develop. So you can see we went from staging to UAT. Now you could keep doing this. You can generate as many of these like pre-release tags as you want, and every single time you generate one, it will generate the changes, update the project files, and then merge back in. So cool, that's cool. Now we're getting to a point where we may want to do something that once we generate these tags, we want to actually change some template files or something like that. For instance, you might have Kubernetes YAML files where you want to update some tags, or there could be many GitOps operations that you want to perform. And so what's really cool about that is that we're actually able to do that using let's actually go have a look at the help file again. We're able to do that using this run script during release. You can put as many of these as you want, so you can have this flag multiple times. But effectively what this lets us do is we're able to trigger other scripts during the release that could update files, and it will commit those changes, or if you commit the files as part of that script, it will skip over the commit bit, but it will still run this. So let's do something like, I know this is not really applicable, but echo date into a file called release date. Now if I do that, what you'll find is not only will it do the change log in the project files, but it also generates this new file and echoes stuff into it. So that's cool, because now we're able to run Git operations, and I specifically run this after the version bumps in all of the files in your project, so that you could use those. That may inform some of the scripts that you run that generates these files. So the final thing would be, cool, we've been doing all of these pre-release tags. Let's actually do a main one. So I'm going to release into main, and there's not going to be the pre-release tag. So this is what is going to happen now. I'm now going to merge our develop branch. I'm going to create a tag from develop into main, and I'm going to have my run script as well. So I do this, and what you'll find is, again, it creates your release branch, generates the change log, the project files, and the release file here. It merges it into main, tags main, and then merges that back into develop. So that's really cool, because now we've got the ability to run releases from our develop branch into other branches. We could go from, for instance, like I could check out, so let's run another pre-release into UAT. And then let's check out UAT, and so git checkout UAT, and now let's run the merge into main. So this could be that flow where you go from develop to staging to UAT to main. So watch what happens when I do this. It's now going to update the version, the tag version to 1.1.1 from UAT, merge that from UAT, it's going to create the release branch, merge that into main, and then merge main back into UAT. So it's really cool because you can choose the workflow that you want to build out here. But what this allows you to do is it lets you create semantic versioning across different branches, across different workflows, etc.